Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another by request song tutorial. In today's lesson, I'll be breaking down a fantastic new tune from the up-and-coming country duo Brothers Osborne. The track is entitled 21 Summer, and it's off their hit record Pawn Shop, which dropped back in January. Now the band lists their list of influences as Tom Petty, Hank Williams, and Pete Seeger, which gives them a kind of retro vibe that matches really well with their contemporary appeal. You can click through the link in the description to check out their new music video for 21 Summer or to download the full-length track. Now as you listen, I recommend that you pay close attention to guitarist John Osborne's sense of timing as he throws some really interesting and tasteful licks and fills throughout this track. Now I'm going to be taking you through all the chord progressions for the tune, some strumming patterns, and also the pentatonic riffs that John throws in. Let's get started with your lesson.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now and then I think about you now and then. When I see that Chevrolet, that certain shade of blue, I hear that song, the one we sang all summer long. Even though it's been so long, it brings me back, right back to you. I hope you find the storm that you were chasing. Hope your eyes are still as full of dreams as they were that night when you slipped off those cut-off jeans. And when I hear the sound of high-tide thunder, I can see your hair blowing in the breeze. I think about how you, in that 21 summer, made a man of me. Yeah, you made a man of me. How you been? I'd love to hear about how you've been. You're the only broken heart I've ever had to have again. I hope you find the storm that you were chasing. Hope your eyes are still as full of dreams as they were that night when you slipped off those cut-off jeans. And when I hear the sound of high-tide thunder, I can see your hair blowing in the breeze. I think about how you, in that 21 summer, made a man of me. Yeah, you made a man of me.
Okay, close look at the fretboard, getting started with a very beginner-friendly version of 21 Summer by Brothers Osborne. We're going to get started with the intro section, but I want you to keep in mind that many times when they perform this song, acoustic, it's a down a half step. I've even seen them do in open tuning. So we're just going to get a very beginner-friendly version of it in standard tuning for today's lesson. Getting started with our intro section, it's going to sound like this. And once very slow. Just like that. Okay, we're going to break that down section by section using the tab available at patreon.com/swiftlessons. The first section is going to sound like this. Real slow. Okay, so I have the 3rd fret of the low E string fretted with my middle finger. I'm going to play that note, then the open D. Back to that 3rd fret, 4th fret D string, back to that 3rd fret, open D, back to that 3rd fret, and the open D again. You put all that together, we have. Alright. Now the next section is going to sound like this. That was the 3rd fret of the low E string, open D, back to that 3rd fret, 4th fret, D string, back to that 3rd fret again, open D, back to that 3rd fret, and then the open G string. Just like that. Now let's see if we can put those two measures together. Alright, now we're ready to move on to the 3rd measure. Okay, now the 3rd measure is going to sound like this. One more time, this part's a little tricky, a little walk down action. Alright, so that was 3 on the low E string, 4 on the D, back to 3, 2 on the D, back to 3, open D, back to 3, then the A string open, and then strum the D, G, and B strings open, just like that. Alright, you put that full 3rd measure together, we have. Alright, now I'm going to play measures 1 through 3. Now you have your intro down. Okay, moving on to a section of the song that on your chord sheet I'm referring to as the pre-verse. Though this could also be considered as just part of the intro, I just wanted to be able to differentiate between the two parts. So, in this section we're going to start off with a really nice version of the D major chord. I got the 7th fret of the G and B string fretted, and also the 5th fret of the high E string. We're going to strum that with 8th note strums for 2 measures, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to go to a regular old D major chord and strum again for 2 measures. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to go to a very cool chord shape called G major 7. This is a shape that a lot of beginners don't know, so I'm going to show you how you get there. Take your middle finger, put it up on the 3rd fret, low E string. Put your pointer finger down here on the 2nd fret of the high E string. So from the D chord, we have a nice, easy change. We're going to strum this chord for 2 measures as well. And notice how I'm favoring the higher strings, the D string, G string, B string, and high E string. We put all that together, we have that D major chord up here in the 5th fret position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The D major chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the G major 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To get us into our verse section. Okay, now we're moving into our verse section. The chords we're going to be needing. D major chord. Be sure to include the chord diagrams on your chord sheet and here on the video. So this D major chord, we're going to have that for 2 measures. That's followed by the G major 7 chord for 2 measures. Alright, so 8 beats each. Then we're going to transition to the one and only bar chord in this song, a B minor chord shape. I'm going to show you the barred version and also a beginner friendly version. Bar the 2nd fret, set up a minor shape, that's the 4th fret of the D, G, and also the 3rd fret of the B string with the middle finger. Okay, we're going to have that for 4 beats. You put your pointer finger down on the high E string for a beginner friendly version. Okay, now we have just a chord that we strum from the D string down, but it works. Alright, you'll still have to practice this one a bunch though. Alright, you put those 3 chords together, we have now and then I think about you now and then when I see that Chevrolet. 4 beats there on that B minor. Then we're going to go to a major chord or an A6 chord. Let's do the A6. This is when we bar across the D, G, B, and high E string. Because there's no extra fingers being added, I'm not going to consider this to be a bar chord shape. This is actually very easy. We strum from the A string down there for 4 beats. So from that B minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, A6. Then we're going to go back to that G major 7 shape for 8 beats. And I like to keep those eighth notes going the entire time. Very easy strumming pattern for beginners to master. Okay, so the D major chord for 8, the G major 7 for 8, the B minor for 4, the A6 for 4, and that G major 7 for 8 beats. That's the first half of the verse. Okay, now moving into the second half of the verse. It's going to be very similar. We'll have that D major chord for 8 beats, or you could say 2 measures. The G major 7 for the same. That B minor chord again for 4 beats. The A6 for 4 beats. But now this time we're going to throw in E minor for 4 beats. And then back to that A6 chord for 4 beats. So that full second half of the verse. I hear that song, the one we sang all summer long. And even though it's been so long, it brings me back. E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the A6 gets us into our chorus section. Okay, fantastic. You've completed your intro, your pre-verse, and also your verse. You're ready to move into the chorus, where I'll be using just a regular garden variety G major chord. Alright, this is what we call the Buskers shape. Alright, this is the 3rd fret low E string, 2nd fret of the A string, that's my middle and index finger, and then my ring and pinky handle the 3rd fret of the B and high E string. We're going to bounce back and forth between that and our standard D major chord, and we'll do that twice. 1 measure each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that was, I hope you find the storm that you were chasing. Hope your eyes are still as full of dreams. Then we're going to go into that B minor chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, as they were that night when you slipped off the A6 chord for a measure. And then we're going to go back to the G major chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so far we have half of the chorus done. G for 1 measure, D for 1 measure. G for 1 measure, D for 1 measure. B minor for a measure, A6 for a measure, and then back to G major chord. And remember, 1 measure has 4 beats in 4/4 time. Alright, then we're going to throw in the A6 again. When I hear the, and repeat everything you just done. G, sound of high tide thunder. I can see your hair blowing in the breeze. I think about how you and that 21 summer made a man of me. Then we're going to repeat the G chord again. Yeah, you made a man of me for that 2nd measure. Alright, now we're ready to get into the guitar solo section, or you can just call this the instrumental section. Okay, moving into the instrumental section, where we're going to hear some really cool pentatonic riffing going on. What's happening in the rhythm guitar side of things is just the G major chord, the D chord, that G chord, and that B minor. A G, a D, and a G. And then that gets you into verse 2, which is a half verse. You just do the first half and then follow that up with an A6 chord to get you back into the chorus again. After that, basically, you have the entire song down. So over top of that chord progression, G, D, G, B minor, G, D, G. We're going to hear this really cool melody coming in from the pentatonic scale in the key of D. Make sure you have that scale down. 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. Alright, I think my E string's a little out of tune. But that's your major pentatonic scale, where so many great licks and riffs can be set up. Okay, now checking out John Osborne's riffs and licks here. Coming from that D major pentatonic scale. We have this first phrase. Alright, you hear the backing vocals kind of backing up this melody line, which really borrows from the melody from the verse. So that was the A string 9th fret, 7-9 on the D, and then G string 7th fret. That's one measure. Then we're going to go to the 9th fret D string, play that again, and then go down to 7. So far we have. Then we're going to play 9 on the A and 7 on the D to wrap up that first melody. Alright, next we're going to hear, just as that B minor chord comes in. Alright, and that note is actually inside the B minor chords. That sounds great. So that was 9th fret of the A string, walking up the same way we did before. 9, 7, 9, 7, G string there. 9th fret D string, 9 again, 7, and then back to 9 on the D. Stacking, going up to the 9th fret of the A string now. Alright, we're going to do that walk up again. Alright, for your last part there. 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. Now here we're going to go 9, 7, and then real slow, descending down the A string. 9, 7, and then right on the A string, 5th fret, we're going to let that note ring out as the G major chord comes in. You put all that together and we have. Very simple. For that instrumental section. Okay, fantastic. You have some very catchy lines using that major pentatonic scale down. After that, it's followed by a half verse. Just D major, G major 7, how you been? B minor, you're the only broken heart. A6 I've ever had. Then he throws in a G major 7 chord. I'd love to have again. Go back to the A6 to get you into the chorus as it always does. Alright, followed by that, the chorus is exactly the same as it was. That's going to be followed by the instrumental section doubled, and then the intro is going to be reprised to close down the song. Congratulations everybody, you have all the parts. Listen to the track and put it all together for your own version. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on Brothers Osborne's 21 Summer. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to click through the link in the description if you want to check out the music video or download the full-length record. You can also find the link to request a song in the description. Thanks so much to my supporters at patreon.com/swiftlessons for making these lessons possible. I hope you're enjoying the extra resources. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.